background for about the last 17-18 minutes, and perfectly in character with this series. I didn't realize I was muted, so it's all sorts of screwed up. But who cares? This is a test session at Michigan. Mutual of Ypsilanti American Speed Series. I'll let you connect the dots with the initials as to what it spells out. But basically, this is a parody IndyCar league using the NR 2003. The mod that I'm using is the NASCAR Fun Facts set, because I know a lot of stupid things are going on, so I wanted to make sure they at least had arrow screens or something resembling safety. Which is one thing I was surprised about. I haven't seen as many incidents as I thought I would see so far in this. One pretty good one around lap 7. It's basically what this is. Currently I have 36 cars complete. Some of them are probably out of this race by now, but probably about 2/3 of the field, and about 1/3 of the rest of the field from friends of mine or just suggestions that I've been given on people that would fit, or things that would just be funny. Yeah, there's drivers and everything in this. I was talking about Bernie Scovel, but you couldn't hear that earlier. He's in that number 12, that white and orange car, because I thought Bernie Scovel would be a glorious name, especially if he was sponsored by a chicken wing place that you had to have a waiver and EMTs on staff to be able to partake in their meltdown raids. This has been heavily inspired by things that friends of mine have done. With his Diddler Cup series that he is running and trying to get back up and running. Or if you're familiar with things like Tow Car or Clabel's Post and Shift Cups. I'd said it earlier, but again, I had everything muted. The ticker on the left is actually courtesy of Dave. And I can give you a link or anything if you'd like to his ticker. Just make sure you get credit where credit's due on that. I'm not very good at coding or anything like that, so but it was a pretty easy thing to figure out. And he also has on his YouTube channel a simple tutorial on how to build that thing. It looks harder than what it actually would be to do that. So let me try to get back up front here. Peter Lutfisk. He's up here. Totally not a Formula One and IndyCar, Indy 500 champion from Montreal, Mexico. Totally not. And he's getting stuck behind Nicholas Latifi, who is doing his best job of being a moving chicane today. that's one of the cars that a friend of mine came up with, Craig. He said, hey, I want to drive around this Latifi with a Waluigi mustache, and it took off from there. And just as I said, we were being led by a totally not Formula 1 champion. We are totally not, because he has gone way back to, looks like 7th now? 10th. Holy crap. So let's go back up front. There's Alfredo Marinero. He has teammates with this car number 9, which is totally not sponsored by cigarettes. Totally not. Monsieur Noir, who no one has seen without his helmet on. Mystery guy. Hit the speeds of 232 before going into the turns. And they're going to try to get around this lap car of Clooney's old backer. One of the 2 slap park cars. The other one's actually right there in 4th. That's Kenji Takayaki. Looks like we're coming to 3 before. Been pretty impressive so far. Good action. Just haven't seen the wrecks that I would normally expect. That's okay. Okay, this is Maximo Voltaje. He is sponsored by an energy drink, Ocho Loco. So we got Voltaje and DeBrazal. Gentleman Jeff. Oh no. I see smoke. And we are going to come to the climb for Voltaje is going to take the win. So if I get results like that when we're doing the actual thing, I'm very happy with it. Because either we have a good old-fashioned wreck fest and everything, or like we did earlier, or what we can do is have a pretty exciting race with a lot of passing and a lot of moving around and bunches up. Just something good and fun. So, let's go back. I want to see something. So I know get messed up earlier. Yeah, so one of the things I still need to work on, I kind of have a generic stand-in pit box. I want to get them all to where they're looking more customized, like this one is. And also some graphics to add to the broadcast as well. Feeling like we're getting close to being able to run. I'm actually going to probably upload this video to YouTube to tonight yet, and just kind of, you know, gauge it and see what feedback or anything like that. But yeah, the track, I want to make sure I mention the track. A friend of mine, Blue, has been worked pretty tirelessly on modding this particular Michigan track that he found, to make that 4 or 5 car wide uh, environment happen, and it's worked out really nice. I've also worked out a version of Pocono that is also not. I can actually get 2 or 3 green flag laps without everybody getting dead. So, yay! So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and button this up, and if you happen to stumble along this video, even though there was no commentary until like 20 laps to go, uh, yeah, feel free to leave some comments or anything like that, things that could be improved. I know my skill as a commentator is probably not that great, so probably just confidence and, getting practice at it will help some. All right, so I think that is it. Let's find the official standings. Yeah, yeah, we finished a 10th. We finished a second behind the leader. Where'd you finish? 15th. So, yeah, there was a lot of. There was one retiree, and that was Abdul Gohidville, who was one of Caveman's drivers that he came up with. He's sponsored by a breakfast eatery called Exactly, and Abdul has his own emu farm. So yeah, that is as of right now what the Mutual of Ypsilanti um, American Speed Series is. I'd like to have probably in this first season maybe 10 to 12 races, get a decent feel for it, and if it's fun and I enjoy it, then probably continue with it. If not, it's fun to try new things and learn new things. And streaming is definitely something that I've never really done a whole lot. Mostly the only things I've done on YouTube are editing highlight videos for the XILF, which I've kind of gotten out of. Unfortunately, kind of burnt myself out on doing those. But yeah, this has been fun to try to build. Yeah, I only have limited time, you know, to do this. So yeah. So all right, I'm gonna get out of here, and might run a couple more of these kind of test races. Just try to get my feet wet and whatnot.